Mark,
Hey, Paul.
you ever heard the term feast or famine?
Yeah, that's a good
That,
way to describe the release schedule.
that's definitely what the DC seems to be doing with their absolutes. Either they don't release any of them, or they say, you know what, let's throw four at them in 1 week, and that's what they
Huzzah.
did this week. Exactly. I want to talk about all four right after this. Before we get started, don't forget to make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. And don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. We appreciate all the comments that everyone gives us. But yeah, like we said, this was a 4 issue week of DC Absolute. So we had Absolute Batman, Absolute Flash, Absolute Martian Manhunter, and Absolute Wonder Woman. But we're going to start with Absolute Batman. Um, this is the second, I would say the second of two parts, but they're really kind of just spiritual parts because they don't really connect to each other other than they both have Wonder Woman and Batman in them. And they do reference one thing in this and from the first one in that how he summons her. But other than that, they really, it's not like the storyline really connects to the two.
And spoiler alert, the way he summons her is he just yells, "Hey, girl, come here."
Exactly. But he has to have the talisman touching a part of his skin when he does that. Um, and basically, why he what this starts actually. It starts with Batman actually going to visit. Well, he actually is at his. He's working. He works at a
Yeah, it's almost like
construction
an
site.
epilogue of the madness we've had.
Yeah. And we basically see his boss there telling Bruce that he needs to rest. He needs to go out, see the country, touch some grass, take a
Which is,
vacation. Do
wasn't that kind of weird because it starts off with him like, "Welcome back to work.
Yeah,
Hate you've been gone. That's so unlike you to be gone for a while because clearly he's been dealing with Bane stuff and everything."
right.
And then you turn the page like, you know what you need is a day off.
Yeah, exactly. My boss would never
Welcome
do that.
back. You need a day off.
Yeah, my boss would be like, "Welcome back. Don't ever take another day off."
Don't ever leave again,
Yeah, exactly.
or I'll
So we
find
get
you.
that for one page, but then we flip to Gotham Presbyterian Hospital, where we see Harvey Dent and Oswald Cobblepot. Bruce has brought them sandwiches, forgetting that Oswald cannot heat solid food yet.
Oh,
Um,
shoot. We get a good look at him too,
mm,
like how grotesque Oz is, all
mm,
contorted, laying in the bed, having to lay on his belly and this weird looking mouth that I guess he doesn't have lips anymore. Is
doesn't
that
look like it.
yeah? He lost his lips along the way, and Two Face all bandaged up with his long white hair now.
Mm.
A little, you kind of see through the bandages. Like,
Yeah, with Harvey Dent kind of throwing a little jabs at him about his relationship with Selena, and um, but we quickly leave there and we go to the Gotham Museum of Natural History, which is where Bruce goes as Batman to summon Wonder Woman.
yeah, he uses a little talisman and he holds a little talisman and he yells, "Hey, girl, come here."
Yeah, exactly. Right, and what do you know? She appears. Um,
You rang.
yeah, and he basically the reason why he's calling her is because he is trying to help his friend Waylon Croc.
Yeah,
Um,
Harvey and Oz
right.
put a lot of pressure on him. They're not happy with him. Their friendship is absolutely shattered. They feel like they were not protected by Bruce and the situation that they're currently in, broken, beaten, scarred for life. He has a lot of responsibility in that, and that's weighing on him. So he's taking action and steps to try to rectify some of that, starting with Croc.
Right. So he calls Diana because, much like Killer Croc, Diana and everything that goes on in Diana's world, he says, you know what, you have things that can turn beasts into man and man into beast and back and forth everything. So I thought maybe you might be able to help me with my friend Waylon. He doesn't call him Killer Croc, but with my friend Waylon.
Yeah, and she immediately says, "Oh, my awesome lasso that does such thing," with a long word I wouldn't dare try to say out loud.
Right.
Because unfortunately, the lasso that does that requires a very solid mind. And she referenced how she almost lost her mind pulling that stunt that she did with the tetracide in earlier issues and stuff. and to attempt to use that on Waylon would surely be the end of him. So that's out of the question. But there is another way.
Right. So they need to go to hell, basically.
It's kind of the place to go in DC Comics these days.
Exactly. So they go there, and as they're going there, they're walking through, and he's like, now suddenly he says, like, I have a job, and she's like, don't worry about it. Time passes at a different speed there, so there'll be weeks and days to you. It'll only be like nothing to us, to the rest of the world, to the
Yeah,
modern world.
we get some fun little panels about how they're just walking for so long, days and days and days go by, and you see all kinds of different little mythic, cryptic creatures along the way. Like, oh, don't look at it, it'll kill you. Don't look at it, it'll kill you. Oh, there's a cyclops. Don't look in its eye. Oh, what? It'll kill me? No, but it's rude.
Yeah, exactly. Why would it kill you?
Yeah, why would it kill you? What a
Yeah,
weird
just
thing to
because
say.
just because every other thing you said would kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
they
looking.
basically go ahead.
uh,
And they basically come upon the River Styx, um, and that's where we get the explanation about the coins in the River Styx. But before we get actually to that explanation, we go back and we find a quick one-page aside with Alfred dealing with Killer Croc.
yeah, he's
Basically,
rolling it. He's playing Arby's employee and bringing him the meat.
exactly,
Yeah, he's
exactly.
just trying to go feed him, and it's kind of just a page to showcase where Waylon's mind's not all there. Waylon kind of like Alfred has to scream at him not to eat him. I'm trying to feed you, don't eat me, kind of situation. And there's a run out of there while he's eating his wheelbarrow of meats.
Yeah. um, so we see Bruce and Diana taking a rest at night. They've talked about the two coins that go on the eyes of the people, that in Greek mythology are basically payments for the Sharon, the boatsman over the river Styx, to take you from basically the living world to the underworld. um, but it also does some other things. Diana tells him it's not just that. There are other people that believe other things, that the coins do. And so when Bruce falls asleep, unbeknownst to Bruce, Diana places two coins on his eyes.
So he starts having vision, seeing his dad, talking to his dad, kind of about like I feel like this kind of butts up with the annual a little bit, talking
Mhm.
about his mission and letting him down and his dad like not being there to kind of steer him and drive him and stuff, and his dad kind of just sharing his feelings on if he was successful as a father or when he was a successful father wasn't the day that he died saving him, but it was all the days leading up to that kind of thing. So kind of just a little bit of steering and purpose and some little personal dialogue between him and his father.
Right. And so we finally get to the person that they're or the being that they're trying to meet, Archelaus, who is a has thighs. Well, actually, it's kind of like a minotaur,
I'll say Minotaur.
minotaur, um, he has the upper body of a human and the lower body of a horse or a bull or whatever.
Centaur.
Senator, yeah. So they decide that they're going to fight it. Batman uses his cape in a couple of different ways to kind of tie it up and everything, and he ends up behind it. And Diana's like, Bruce, don't ever stand behind a centaur.
Oof.
Right? Exactly.
He is papped out. This is right off the bridge.
Right.
Pegasus swoops down. Wonder Woman fears him dead, and he comes flying back up. And the battle rages on for a brief second when Acrolis shoots him with an arrow right into his shoulder, takes him out of the fight.
Right. She breaks it off. She carries Bruce back to the land of the living. And we see that Bruce then suddenly wakes up and he remembers something, that is basically that was said to him. How it turns two legs into four and four legs into two. He needs an artifact, and then he realizes he still has the tip of the arrow that he was shot with.
Yeah, so the arrowhead was the artifact that they were after. I guess Wonder Woman didn't want to tell him like, "Yo, you're gonna have to take a shot."
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
they needed Acrolis's arrow tip. That was what they were after.
Right. So he goes back to work. He tells his boss, that he feels much better. He was right. I needed to go and do these things. And then we do a quick couple panel thing right at the end of the issue, where we see Bruce has taken the tip of the arrow, made it into a necklace, and he has given it to Croc and says, "Wear this necklace. Let it touch your skin. You are never alone." B for Bruce or Batman, who knows, but probably for Bruce. Um,
Notice
and
he
that's
pinned it to the wall with his bat ear. Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep, exactly. And that's where we end this issue with a promise that just a one word thing for the next issue, and that is Ivy for next issue.
Ivy.
Right. So good. I mean, yeah, I think the two of them really kind of complement each other pretty well. Meaning the Wonder Woman issue, and now here the
Yeah,
Batman issue.
I like
Like
this one a little bit better.
you don't really need to read either of them to understand the other one, obviously. Um, uh, but yeah, it's with the promise. We got a promise from Scott Snyder this week that there will be more crossovers coming up this year. So
I don't need them.
yeah,
I
I
don't need 'em.
mean the
I'll
absolute
take
line.
them.
Yeah, the absolute line has been doing just fine on its own.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, what we're doing is working so well. What should we do? I don't know. Something else.
yeah, exactly.
Doesn't make
Um,
sense.
Absolute Flash up next. Issue number 11. Can't believe we're already almost a year into Absolute Flash. And we
I gotta
still
tell
have
you, man. I think
so many questions. Go ahead.
yeah, maybe, but I gotta tell you, I think that this was my favorite issue
hmm
of Absolute Flash so far.
Yeah, we see we see Barry Allen again. We
We
see what's
see
left.
Jay Garrick
We
again.
see what's left of Jay Garrick again. Um,
Dude, and like you just said, you have so many questions, but what's cool is I feel like we've resolved any question we might have had by issue 8, and we've added an entire new set of questions with issue 11.
mhm,
Like they're all new questions that I have, like that I
right.
didn't even know to ask previously. Man, that's probably what I've been enjoying most. It kind of is unique about Flash. Every title is definitely unique, but that's definitely what's the most unique about Flash is the unfolding of the lore.
hmm
Really, like it's interesting.
Right. Whereas the only question you probably have about like Martian Manhunter is why am I still reading this? Um,
WTF?
yeah. Um, so we start, if you remember at the end of the last issue, Wally has gone into whatever it was that was created in the lab,
The
um,
portal.
the portal.
Wow. And
Yeah,
something came out. He
yeah,
went in,
exactly,
something came out.
exactly. But we start off with we get to see Barry Allen again.
Yeah, we
So
start off on Wally in this weird realm. We don't know where it was. He was just standing in this place, floating these floating beams in what looked like space with a red energy version of Barry Allen and some weird alien looking things there. And we pick up right there where he's talking to Barry and he's telling him to calm down. You're safe, you're alive. I'll explain what's going on here. These creatures around you and myself, we ended up here and we didn't survive, but our essence has, and we're constituted of this energy now that this place is made of. And he immediately starts explaining the place. He calls it the still point, which is a familiar term
right,
in DC lore. It's been reimagined. He pretty much says that this is kind of like the epicenter of creation, that this red energy is like the still energy, and kind of think of this place as in the eye of this never ending storm. It's around us everywhere. It's where your powers come from, and energy made of pure red stuff of life itself. At the start of all things, there was only light. Some people might call this red light God. It is pure and perfect. It's all that was and all that can be. Bro, I think that they're made of dark side. Like, I think that this is literally just Omega energy, bro.
could be, could be,
Why
could
is it
be.
red?
Yeah. Mm. Um, Red to me would kind of be more like if it was like monitor energy.
Like, crisis is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Because
dude, like that's my immediate thought. I'm like, is this dude made out of pure Omega energy?
right, and he points to like he sees like this fish type, catfish type thing, and then he's like, "What is that?" And that's where he's basically Barry says, "You know what? We're not the only ones that are here. Things have come here from all different worlds and everything. So we're not the only ones that have found out about this place." But then we quickly go back to Fort Fox, Project Olympus, and we see a version of Eobard Thawne, who is now just kind of a huge thing of matter or whatever.
Red chaotic energy.
Yeah.
This monster is what came through when Barry went one way, it came the other way. And lore goes in the book is that Eleanor's grandfather was the person on Earth in his project that discovered the still place and was trying to access it, harness it, whatever. Him and Jay Garrett ended up going through it. And this is what he is now, is this being, this creature, this monster.
Right. And so he starts screaming, there's one, there can only be one. And that's when Eleanor and the trickster decide, hey, you know what? I think we've had enough of this.
We messed up.
I think it's time to get out of here.
She's like, grandfather. He's like, die.
Yeah,
like, oh.
exactly. And then we see Gorilla Grodd running with the rogues as well. Because they're there, if you remember as well. They're going and they were looking for Trickster as well. And so they basically run up against everything that's going on in at Fort Fox.
Yeah, they're trying to assess the situation where everyone is. Everyone's running out. They're trying to get to Trickster, find Mr. West or Colonel West and Wally. So they're running into the lab where the big battle is happening. Trickster is trying to reactivate the portal to send this thing back through before it destroys everything, and they're incapable of reactivating it. And so everyone's kind of just fighting for self-preservation on the same team right this second inside of Fort Fox.
Right. And at Still Point, that's where we find Barry sees what's left of Jay Garrick. Basically, it's not a lot.
Yeah, Barry Allen explains to him that when things come through here, typically the journey here kills you, but your essence, your soul, if you will, remains, and the red energy constitute like it lives in like this construct made of that red energy. Wally's different. He survived the travel there. Jay, as well as Eobard, also survived the travel there. No telling how long they were stuck here, but something called to them, and unfortunately, Eobard could not resist it, and that is what corrupted him and created him into this monster. Jay didn't become corrupted, but he died, and we see his bones and everything. And we also, Barry takes us to the spot at the Still Point, this hole in the ground with this red energy at the bottom that's calling to him. And he said Eobard went in here, and this is what transformed him into that monster. So we need to stay away from this.
Right. So Wally's trying to get home, but he doesn't know how. Barry doesn't exactly know how either, but he says, you know what, we're here. We're working to try to figure out, we will find a way to send you home. But Wally doesn't really want to wait.
No, I gotta go.
So we flip to if you remember, Wally's dad had been captured. He was basically captured, and he was tied up and everything. And it's funny because all he needs to do is raise his voice, and then suddenly the soldiers just let him go.
It worked. You know how people say I refuse to repeat myself. There's actually some merit in repeating yourself, because he says, "Let me go." They said no. He said, "Let me go." They said, "Okay." Because they're watching the chaos that's unfolding inside of the Fort Fox. Again, it's one of those self-preservation things. They let him go. He goes running out of the room. Golden Glider comes falling in front of him, and they tell him what's going on, and he's seeing the big fight and everything, and he's updated on the events. Ultimately, Golden Glider takes a stab at this Eobard Thawne, gets backhanded almost into the portal that gets reactivated finally, but Captain Boomerang catches her, or Captain Cold, one of the captains. Looks like Captain Boomerang. Starts pulling her back in. She loses her legs to the portal, but she's ultimately saved. And then before anyone can fall into it, Wally emerges out of it. Enough, Thrawn. I've seen what you are, and I'm done running. So big battle's about to happen, I guess.
Yeah. Did you notice on the fourth to last page, the one where Captain Cold is shooting his ray at the thing, the second to last panel? Does that look like Plastic Man? That little red.
Oh, because the band on it?
Yeah. I'm like, what's Plastic Man doing here?
How funny would that be? Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah, So Wally has made his way back. We're about to get, I think, the big throwdown between Wally and Eobard Dawn in the next in the next issue, and I, for one, cannot wait.
War of the Flashes Part 2.
Hmm.
So it says to be concluded. I guess that's the end of that story arc.
Right, which makes sense.
Yep.
12. So okay. So let's get to it.
Well, this one will be easy to talk about.
It was kind of cool to have a new absolute version
Despero.
of Despero. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's all right. All right, here we go. Overlook at the city. Everyone's snitching on everyone.
Mhm.
Kids snitching on parents, neighbors snitching on neighbors. A lot of calls are coming into the FBI. So they have to say, John, I know you've been on light duty. We got to put you back on regular duty because a lot of people are calling and telling on each other. Ultimately,
Right.
why? Who knows? Are they actual crimes happening? It doesn't matter because this book is so poorly written that they don't even address it or get into it. But other people won't even notice that. They'll just think it's written well.
Mhm.
But nothing happens there. But he's
It's writ-
going
it-
back to work.
It's written well because chicken tenders can tell you the horrors that they went through to
Yeah,
actually become chicken tenders.
it's just this book is ridiculous, Paul. Like it's legitimately ridiculous.
Which is funny
No,
because this is probably the most of all the books. This is the most polarizing. Either people love it and they think it's the next Pulitzer Prize winner, or people don't.
this is one of those pretentious things that creatives do so that they're guaranteed an award and that they can. I mean, like it's no secret that that category exists in life, whether it be movies or
Hmm.
books, whatever, where you just do something pretentious and all of your peers have to pretend like they understand your genius so that they don't feel like the out crowd.
Hmm.
Like kind of like one battle after another at the Oscars.
Hmm.
Like we have to pretend this is amazing because the subject matter of it's meant to be this. That's what this book is. It's not good. The artwork is fun. The artwork's creative. There's no storytelling in this whatsoever. He goes home to see his wife, not before puking on his legs because he went to a bar on the way. He asked the Martian to give him a day off.
Hmm.
I need some headspace. He goes home and the Martian gets cornered. The Martian that nobody can see, by the way, gets cornered by the agents that come in to go investigate the last issue, which makes no sense either
Right.
because they just go out shooting at the Martian that you can't see, and I don't know.
And all you need to do to contain them is draw a a bar around him, or
Yeah,
a
just
barrier.
draw a bar around him. But anyways, I guess we've assumed that his son has a white Martian in him. But
Mhm.
while he's just chilling in his hotel room at the end of it all, just kind of sitting there being sad, he's being spoken to by another entity, and it crawls up behind him, throws his arm over him, and it's Despair the Zero, aka Despero.
Mhm.
He's your new partner.
Mhm.
Did anything in this entire issue stand out to you as notable, as meaningful as? Because that's the whole issue. I just did the whole issue on accident.
No, not really. I mean, to your point, it makes there's commentary about guns in here as well. A lot of commentary about that, and
Yeah, and the red, white, and blue colors around it.
right. Um, but yeah, I mean,
It's so pretentious. I don't like. I hate to like I'm a shill. You know what I mean? Like we're both DC shills. We're
right.
to be honest about it. We're both DC fanboys. We're easy sells. Easy sells. I love books of all different caliber, fast paced, just fun action books. I love in depth dramatic books. This just like I'm not saying that there's not talent behind it, but the final product is not a quality product. I don't know what it is. It feels like a self-indulgent project that someone's doing. It's
Mhm.
not meant for anything other than them. And I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. If you say you like this, you're just saying that because you think it's something to say. Like I know people that like this book, and if you think I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. Like
Mm.
it's not good.
Right. But speaking of good, let's go back to Absolute Wonder Woman. It got
Y'all
good.
know who you are.
It got good until the very end, and she started speaking backwards.
You know what's so mad, dude? You know what made me mad about that is I took the time. I stopped reading and took the time and read it all. I read all the backwards words, and in the very next panel,
She tells you what it is anyway.
says it forward. Just says it forward.
Right.
This was fun. This was good, meaningful, heartfelt, linear, with flashbacks.
Mhm.
Like this is structured in a way that they're telling a story, character driven, all kinds of stuff happening, action, characters,
Right.
lore, mythos, beautiful art. It's the polar opposite of Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, we get basically we get in the beginning there was love. We see Diana as a little girl. Um
Hello, my
uh
little gumdrop. I like that. That's really
yeah,
cool.
exactly. But then we quickly actually flash to get it flash to the now. Where
Yeah,
she
they introduced Aphrodite in the
right,
beginning. The
right.
importance of Aphrodite is kind of starting. They're going to start something with that. Apparently, it's a brief flashback, but
Mhm.
yeah, throw that
Then
out there.
right. Then we get to what are we calling this? The Hall of Wisdom? Is that what we're calling this or
The
something like
Knot
that?
Hall of
The
Justice.
Not Hall of Justice. Where basically they're talking about the fact that Steve Trevor has to go in front of a Senate committee or a congressional committee.
Yeah, he's been
Uh,
called by Colonel Sanders to come report.
right, exactly. Um, to try and explain what happened. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um,
You telling me you know about my secret herbs and spices?
And then we go to the committee, and basically Steve Trevor and that very same senator starts off with, you can't serve two masters type of a thing. You can't be involved in the military and also be the advocate for this Wonder Woman who goes by many names, Princess of Hell, Witch of the Wild Isle, whatever she happens to be. And that's when Steve Trevor says, you know what, you're right. And so I can't be involved in the military anymore because when history writes this, the military will be on the wrong side of history, and Wonder Woman will be on the right side of history.
Wrong and right side of history.
Mhm.
I think they'll both be on the right side of history, for being honest. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what's their job? Is their job just like, oh wait, this princess from hell just showed up? Like, what?
Mhm.
We're gonna follow you now. That's nobody's job. Like,
Yeah.
guys, get it together. You're all doing the right thing from your standpoint. Okay, like,
Mhm.
just quit being mean to each other.
We go
Face
to area
down Fishman is where we go next.
exactly Area 41.
Hey, Paul, man, I'm getting excited already. We're in Area 41, my new favorite place in absolute DC Comics for reasons that'll be mentioned by the end of this issue.
Hmm.
But we see, what is this, Veronica Cale? Isn't that who
Yeah.
this is?
Yep.
Not the right one. There's a bunch of people in these books. They're it looks like they're dissecting, experimenting on the fishmen out of the labyrinth. You know, the
Hmm.
mayhem that happened there in previous issues. But what's cool is if you look around the lab, you search around the lab, you see a couple vials, some computer screens and stuff. But in the jar closest to us, we see what I can only interpret as a Starro, an
Yeah.
absolute Starro. Like,
Hmm.
dude,
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought too. So.
yeah, and it's even on the computer back there and
Mhm.
stuff. Like, it's super cool. But they're just what were they talking about? Well, I don't know what they're talking about. They're just dissecting stuff.
Yeah.
I forget. Yeah, I don't know. They're talking about fear for whatever reason or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but then we go to we get the two page splash of the title page. We get this is called Season of the Witch, Part 1 of
Oh,
5. Yes.
they're just kind of bantering, but the important part was she told her staff as she's walking out the room, make sure everyone's ready to go by ribbon cutting time. They're talking about the museum that's coming, but she's got clear plans and she has people that she needs ready to go by then. So it was just a setup thing. Got
Right.
it. Okay.
And we switch then
Sorry.
to the museum, the Natural History Museum, where Diana is there, Etta is there,
Dude, I love
Barbara is
this.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a public figure. I love that about her. She's there with a dress on, with
Mhm.
Pegasus, not trying just to be accessible to people out front. That I thought that was super cool. Here to support her friends publicly.
hmm We go in. Diana apparently has never been there before. She's looking at these different rooms and everything, and she basically says, she's kind of overcome in some ways, not as much as she will be in a second, but she's kind of overcome because she says these are the closest that I've ever been to feeling like I'm back on the mascara again. Um,
Mhm.
because she's,
This is also the only time she's been nice to Barbara.
right, exactly, yeah. Um, But before you know it, they're starting to do some things. They grab, they're looking at some other artifacts or whatever. And as she's going and she gets a glass of wine or whatever,
Oh.
champagne, she basically, yeah, hits the floor.
She falls out to a flashback on the
Mhm.
Wild Isle where she's just training. She's training with another one of the big
With
bad
Artemis.
gods. Yeah, with Artemis going back and forth. Artemis transforming into a tiger with a snake tail, fighting back and forth, and it's a cool fight scene. It gets pretty violent. She ultimately bests Artemis. I think she was asking her where Aphrodite's been, wasn't she?
Correct. Correct.
Now
Um,
she feels like she's abandoned her. She's like, nah, she comes and goes. She comes when she needs to.
right.
Back,
So I
chill
would
out.
expect to see her before the end of this five issue arc. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, flashback to go back to the Museum of Natural History. Diana wakes up, says, "How long have I been out?" She's like, "Long." She's like, you basically, just hit the floor and got right back up."
Yeah, she
Um,
said something's wrong with her magic. She can't
yeah,
access it. Something's off. She's not sure what.
and that's when we see Zatanna
Big
with,
explosion, a big
yeah,
boom. And you see this figure silhouetted in there and
mhm,
everyone running away and Wonder Woman walking toward the danger.
mhm.
So the great shot there. And
And we
the
get the
they say,
word that
"Thank
Mark
you."
has been waiting for 16 months.
Yeah, good to see you on this plane of existence. I'm Zatanna. And this is the Suicide Squad.
We get the absolute Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's comprised of a bunch of super powered characters that are under the care of Area 41,
hmm
Cheetah, Giganta, Fishman,
hmm
uh, Dr.
The
Poison
Dr.
there,
Poison, yeah.
Zatanna front and center. And who knows who else they might have locked up in there and what other new characters might come along the way. But first, Absolute Suicide Squad. Not a
Yeah,
bad squad.
right. And so
You
then we
notice how Cheetah's not fully Cheetah? It's like patches of fur and
mhm,
stuff.
yep.
That's super cool.
And we see Zatanna uh, basically doing her it's a kind of a flashback to what she said a few issues ago. But what she says, and Mark can tell you that because it's in the bottom panel. Um, I bind you to me while in my presence, your voice is mine alone. Is basically so. What is whenever the two of them are in close proximity, Zatanna has control over Diana's magic. And at one point, Diana was like, "If someone has my magic, can something go? Why didn't my arm fall off?" Type
Hmm.
thing. um,
She said, I think you figured it out, didn't you, cutie? That's the second
yeah,
time she called her cutie in 2 pages. She's underestimated you, but I haven't. I wonder what we should do with your magic first. And
right.
you get like this face off page, like, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I like her little Michael Jackson half jacket there.
She was only
That's
wearing one
cool.
glove that would have made it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Next, the harder they fall. But yeah, it was a good issue, man. Like it was a good
Mhm,
setup, good delivery, fun stuff in there.
mhm.
Meaningful as always. Thank you, Kelly Thompson, for not wasting our money.
Yeah, so 4 issues, three of which were really good. Um,
Hey, and if you like Absolute Martian Manhunter, good for you. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Hopefully you
exactly.
like all four of them.
Right. Um, but hopefully they kind of spread them out, and I think they will. I think Absolute Batman is the one that kind of was kind of out of whack because it fell behind with Nick Dragotta and everything, and because I believe in the new issue
Also had
comes
that
out.
Arc M issue. They have like a
Yeah,
bonus issue along the
yeah.
way too.
But I think the next Absolute Batman actually comes out in like 2 weeks. So they're kind of because it's not actually by Nick Dragotta. He Nick Dragotta is not doing the Ivy storyline. So
Hmm.
um,
That'll be
but
what just a little 2 issue story thing
I
that
think
they
yeah,
do.
2 or 3 issues. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
But yeah,
looking
that
forward to it.
absolutely. Again, don't forget, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. And make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. But yeah, that's going to be it. Next week we have actually Absolute Superman and we have Absolute Green Lantern. We have both of those next week, so we'll look forward to those. But as of right now, well, actually, always, I am Paul. He is Mark.
And we are Legion.
But you're now leaving Sector 2815.